What's up, Facebook land? How are you? Going live again, live from the Las Vegas Cigar Outlet, live from the lounge. My name is JJ, and I'm here with David Blanco.
Pleasure to be here.
Lighting up, what am I lighting up here?
Let me shake your hand first, brother.
What am I lighting up?
You're lighting up the Blanco Liga Exclusiva de Familia Connecticut shade in Torpedo.
Woo!
This is a Connecticut shade that our family grows in the Tolunga Valley in Honduras. All Nicaraguan filler binders. It's more of a medium-bodied cigar. It also got a 92 rating in Smoke Magazine, and it happens to be my father's favorite blend. My father, Caesar, who was president of the company until this past year. He decided to retire, but we make that for him in particular, and I begged him to let me bring it out to the public, and it's been a big hit for us.
Fantastic. Well, we're excited to have you here. I'm excited to smoke this. I've never smoked this before. I have, if you've watched the show, you've realized I've come back to mild and medium-bodied cigars. Ah, thank you, Mario.
Gracias, Mario.
Yes. Look at that. We got coffee served.
Wow.
I've come back to mild.
Why haven't I come here soon?
I know, right? Exactly. Exactly. Salud. So I've come back to smoking a lot more mild and medium-bodied cigar. That's why when Candido walked in, the H. Upman Grupo de Maestros has been one of my favorite cigars of the year.
Candido's over here.
So Candido Rosario is here. So that's why I said yes to the mild.
Well, I'm glad
it's super flavorful already.
That's the key. That's what my father likes it a lot. He likes a lot of flavor with his cigar, but not necessarily a lot of strength.
So your father was Blanco Cigars?
My father, myself, and my uncle. We all started it together, and it was originally called Los Blancos Cigars Company. Los Blancos being, as you know, Spanish, the plural form of Blanco, because there's three of us, right? So initially, my uncle unfortunately had to retire only after 2 years with the company. We started in 1998. We had our own factory in Ybor City in Tampa, but unfortunately, he's a Vietnam veteran and a 20-year veteran of the military, but he was exposed to Agent Orange, and as a result, became ill and wasn't able to continue the day-to-day operation of the factory in Ybor. So we had to close our factory, and we moved to our cousin's facility in Esteli, Nicaragua. You may know them also. That's the Plasencia family.
Yes.
So Nestor is cousins with my father. Out of respect, I call him uncle because he's the older generation.
That's so fantastic.
Of course, Nestor Andres, Nestor Jr., as you know him here in the States, we refer to each other as primo or cousin. So all of our cigars are made at that factory, and I think the cigar you just referred to from Candido is also made at the Plasencia factory, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So we're putting out a lot of good cigars out of that factory.
It's absolutely producing so many of my favorite cigars right now. Just so many of them.
Hopefully we can add this to the list.
Absolutely, right? This is just gorgeous. The band, I just want people to see how pretty that band is. It is just gorgeous.
The band gets you to look at it.
Right.
And maybe try it. But
we
hope the cigar gets you to stay with it, because we put a lot of my heart and soul into all my cigars that I blend, but particularly this is
going to be a good challenge for your cigar. You know why? Because I just had a celebratory Mexican dinner with my daughter, who just graduated today. Shout out to Lauda, who's sitting right here.
Congratulations. Well, I gave her a cigar as well.
Oh, how's the cigar, Lola?
She's got the Thank you. She's got the Pennsylvania broadleaf Maduro version of the Liga Exclusiva de Familia. We made it in Connecticut, and then because my father prefers that one, I prefer the Maduro. So this is why we made two blends in that line. Also received the 92 in Smoke Magazine, but that cigar was actually #2 cigar of the year, as voted by consumers last year on iRobusto.com.
Oh, nice.
So we've gotten a lot of accolades from that blend as well.
Well, you've got your hands all over the place, right?
I try.
You've got all kinds of different brands you make cigars for.
I do.
What are some of the where maybe if they're not smoking a Blanco cigar, that they're tasting something that you've got a part in?
All of Hiram and Solomon cigar products are blended by me and made at our family's factory because of that.
Well, if you've been to Las Vegas Cigar Outlet, you have been recommended a Hiram and Solomon, guaranteed. Because we are in love with the line. Those are good people.
Yes,
they are very good.
George and Eddie yeah. I call them by their American names. Yes. But that'd be Fuad and Nasir.
Yeah, yes. Fuad and Nasir. He's supposed to be here this morning, but had something come up. But anything else that?
Sure. Warfighter Tobacco Company. I make all of Warfighter.
Well, Warfighter's going to be here on Sunday.
They are.
And we did a live show with them earlier this week.
Yeah, Scott. So who did you have?
Scott, John, and
Rocco. Did you have Rocco?
No, there was no Rocco.
Okay, Rocco should be at the event. Rocco is also an actor.
Oh, Hollywood.
Yes.
Oh, Hollywood. No, Hollywood was not there.
No, not Hollywood. That's another guy.
Oh, that's another one.
Yeah, he's been doing some stuff as well. Rocco was actually on the spin-off of Sons of Anarchy. You might have seen him on the Mayans.
That's okay. Yes, that's what they were telling me. Yes.
So, yeah.
But
that's another brand. I also make another brand called.
Well, wait. We have to stop for a second. We have to stop for a second. I'm telling you because that night, which was Wednesday night, Warfighter was in here and he gave me that Rosado.
Oh yeah, you like it?
No. I flipped out. Like I had like 8 cigars that day. I mean, I was going through everything.
You might want to get some help for that.
No, I got a problem. But he gave me the choice of I want the Rosado, and like literally within a minute and a half of lighting it up, I was like, what the are you doing with this?
I'm honored that you.
And I'm telling you what, bro, blew my mind. Like I have made a point. I told Raj, I was like, I know we have appointments at 10:15, but at 10 o'clock, I need to go see the guys at Warfighter because I need one of those Rosados right away.
Well, I hope they're available at the shop soon.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they're that's coming. That's coming.
Good deal.
So Warfighter, Hierman Solomon.
I have another brand I make called Royal Flush for a gentleman out of New York. I have some private labels in Germany. I have some private labels in Holland. I'm making a new private label for the Asian market in Malaysia, which will also be distributed probably in Hong Kong, Thailand, and Vietnam.
David Blanco is worldwide.
Yeah, we distribute everywhere except Antarctica. And
it's cold to smoke up there.
Yeah, and we have had some difficulty in Australia. I had a distributor there, but that market is really tough.
We have a one of our watchers who's on almost every week, and he tells us his troubles.
It's
like literally just horrendous. It's so hard to be a cigar smoker in Australia.
Yeah, they make it almost impossible to make.
Yeah,
but not only for the taxes, but the plain packaging. Yeah. Almost all cigar shops are pretty much out of business.
He gave me this big list of things I would have to actually send in order to send it to him, and he was like, "And I still don't know if I'll get it."
It's true. So it's tough.
Yeah.
So other than that corner of the world, we're in Europe. I just came back from Europe. We're in Canada, throughout the United States, Central America. I think you talked to Zohar the other day.
Yes.
We are the only Nicaraguan cigar that he sells in his Dominican shop in the Dominican Republic. So when he asked me, because he also works with us and he distributes in Lithuania, and so he's our Lithuanian distributor. So he loved our cigars there, and since he does his own cigars in his own factory in La Romana, and is going to be working with us in a blend in our factory, and I'm going to be helping him with that in Nicaragua. He wanted to have our cigars available at his shops in the Dominican Republic, not only distribute there, but South America for us. So we're going to be distributed there.
So we're going to be all over.
We're opening in the Middle East this year with Lebanon, hopefully Dubai and Kuwait. So that's the only part of the world. I'm selling in Pakistan. We just distribute in Pakistan. So we are global.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of places that we still need a better presence, a stronger presence, a bigger footprint. So we're working on it. The work is never done.
Well, that's impressive to be all over the place. So you just got back from Europe?
I did.
What were you just doing business? What was your?
There was business involved. So I took 10 days personal, I guess you could call it.
Oh, that's good.
And then 10 days after that of business. The personal side of it had to do with the beginning of the month of June. I was there. I think I left on the 30th or 31st, or the 1st, and I was there from the 1st to the 10th, celebrating and honoring those for D-Day. This year was the 75th anniversary of the D-Day invasion in Normandy. So,
well, just so people know, you have significant life history with armed forces,
fire, police, civil service type of stuff. I joined the military out of high school. I also studied criminal justice and paramedic medicine. So I was a deputy sheriff in Cook County, which is Chicago, where I grew up and I was born. And I then went to the Chicago Fire Department, was a fire paramedic for them for 7 years, which is where I started my cigar company. That was my side job.
Okay, that's where I was going to go with this. Was how does one?
Yeah, that was my side job. Most firemen, because we work 24-hour shifts, and paramedics, we have 24-hour shifts, so we have a side job. Electricians,
Sure.
a lot of labor type stuff, construction. I started my cigar company with my father and my uncle, and it was able to take over my life so I could get out of the fire department and do this full time. You know, there were some interesting times and things that we had to overcome, like 9/11, where my father went to Iraq for the day of or was deployed and mobilized to go to Iraq after 9/11, and I was deployed to Afghanistan. So we closed the doors for 2 years because the two principals had to leave, had to serve the country. We came back, it was basically starting all over. So it was a huge challenge financially and otherwise. My entire distribution chain had evaporated. It was basically like starting all over in 2004, like we did in 1998. So we had a huge setback, but nothing that I've never been a quitter in my life at anything. We knew we could do this, and we dug in our heels and did it again.
So you're over in
Normandy.
You're in Normandy.
So we celebrated by reenacting the D-Day invasion. There were a couple of reenactments. There was, of course, things going on the beach of Normandy, which was the main invasion, and on Omaha Beach and Utah Beach, where we lost thousands of soldiers. But I'm an airborne soldier, and so we did the reenactment of the airborne invasion of the 101st and the 82nd Airborne Division in Karatan and San Mariglis. So we actually flew over those drop zones, the same drop zones, in C-47s, which were the original planes that took part in the D-Day invasion.
Wow!
And we were dressed up in World War II uniforms, exactly the way they were. And we jumped in and landed there. And what was the most satisfying thing for me was the World War II veterans that were there watching, and actually one jumped with us. He's 97 years old, Tom Rice.
Wait, a 97-year-old guy jumped?
Yep, tandem. He did a tandem
Oh
jump.
my gosh.
High altitude opening, not a static line jump like they did back then. And he was on Fox News after that with the interview, and the world carried that interview. I actually was standing behind him during the entire interview. I didn't know the camera was panning out that wide, but I was there. I had people texting me, "We just saw you on the news." I was like, "What?" So it was a quite interesting opportunity to shake the hands of people like Vince Speranza, who was involved in the Battle of the Bulge of airborne beer fame. They actually have a beer that was named after him, and I got to thank these guys personally. They're all in their 90s, and 75th anniversary is probably the last huge anniversary in living memory that these guys will be around.
Yeah.
So for me, it was important to thank them, pay my respects and honor them for changing the face of the world, because that war could have gone a lot differently. And D-Day was the first day of the beginning of the liberation of Europe, which changed the momentum and direction of that war to end it in a favorable position for not only Europe, but the United States and the rest of the Allied forces. So it was an honor being a military historian and a military veteran. Very important.
So there's two questions I have. One, how did you get that to happen?
I have friends that were involved in other areas of the military that, for example, there's a couple friends of mine that own a bourbon company called American Freedom Distillery. And those guys were the guys that were the first Special Forces detachment, A-team or team that went into Afghanistan in response to 9/11. And they made a movie about it called 12 Strong. And those guys became known as the Horse Soldiers. So they named their whiskey bourbon, and they're going to be doing a rum and a gin, and they call it Horse Soldier Bourbon, Horse Soldier Whiskey. Those guys also wanted to do the same thing. So they actually went out and sought some sponsorship. We got Cisco to sponsor it. We were able to go over as a team. There was also a U.S. Group called the Round Canopy paratrooper team out of Florida, and they have different elements all over the planet. So they have a group of them in Europe, in France, and everything else. So we all got together and organized this I didn't do much of the organizing. They did.
Yeah.
Organized this reenactment with the actual planes and all in World War II uniforms. And
Okay.
it was unbelievable. It was
All right,
unbelievable.
so-
It was a bucket list thing for me.
So I just found out about the uniform. So the uniform, the sound and feel of that airplane, looking down over the exact same space and floating through the air in the exact same airspace as it happened 75 years ago. What's going through, what does that do inside of you?
The magnitude for me, being a historical military buff fan, whatever you want to call it, was unparalleled. I can't tell you the exhilaration and honor it was knowing that not only was I jumping with one of them, but they were down there watching us. And you can watch it, actually. I filmed it on my GoPro. And if you go to David Blanco, my public figure page,
Do this.
you can see it. I posted it on Monday, and we've got tens of thousands of views on it. It's reached over 200,000 people already. The local news station in Tampa, where I'm from, picked it up and did a 2-minute episode on the honor of doing that. So you guys can watch it if you want. I do 2 jumps. I got it all GoPro'd out there. David Blanco, public figure. You can like it and follow us if you want. You can just watch the video if you like. But it's indescribable for me, the sentiment behind it. It was more than just a jump. I've jumped a lot in my life.
Sure.
But this was the 75th anniversary, huge, that just being said. And it's not a reenactment doing it somewhere. It's doing it there.
Yeah,
It was phenomenal. And of
Wow.
course, what did I do the minute I landed? And after I didn't break any bones, I lit a Blanco 9 and got
You're
some horse
lighting
soldier.
up?
Got some horse soldier bourbon.
Oh my gosh.
And we went and drank with the World War II veterans then. It was once in a lifetime thing. Bucket list, like I said. It's,
I mean, that
everything works.
probably checks off a few.
It does.
I mean, really, that's such an amazing.
And of course, those guys, some of them smoke cigars too, so I was handing them cigars. They were smoking Blanco cigars, and we were drinking bourbon, and the crowds that were there to watch, millions of people were watching this thing.
Oh my gosh.
They traveled from all over the world to see this. Of course, President Trump was there. Speaker Pelosi, I believe, was there. We actually jumped with a congressman, the first Green Beret congressman. Michael Wirtz was there, and he jumped with us. Wow! So we shared some bourbon, we shared some beer, and we drank some beer out of a World War II helmet as a commemoration with one of the World War II vets. So that's all on the video. You guys can see all of that.
Oh my gosh.
So it was something else.
Well,
So I'm glad to enjoy cigars, but I took a little time for myself, and I don't usually do that. But after that, of course, I went with my distributor, and we did events in Holland. We did events in London, cigar events, and then I flew all the way back to Seattle to do an event before I came home to repack for 3 days and get everything ready to come here for the big trade show that we're having this weekend. The retail IPCPR is the trade show for cigars for not only the U.S. but international distribution.
Well, I've smoked a lot of your cigars for the last couple of years, and I'll tell you, I never really knew much about you personally. And just through this interview process, man, I've just gained so much respect for what you stand for, like what you've chosen to do. I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, are you planning on like utilizing your civil service experience with cigars even more, like a next step? Or
yeah, we actually did a cigar a few years ago called the American Legion cigar for the American Legion organization, and I was donating the proceeds to that organization. I'm a member of the American Legion, as well as my father, my uncle, were all members, and we knew it was a worthy organization and cause to give some funds to.
Oh yeah, I played American Legion baseball growing up.
Unfortunately, after 2.5 years of our arrangement for being a vendor for them with this product to raise money, the rug was pulled out from under us. Apparently, as in every organization, there is a non-smoking or anti-smoking left-wing or part of that organization that didn't like the fact that their name and logo was being utilized with a tobacco product. So we had to, after 2.5 years, stop making that cigar. But there was a huge outcry of keeping that blend. And people were like, "Don't stop making that cigar." And I was like, "Well, I can't make that cigar with that wrap, the brand of American Legion, but
Sure.
I can keep the blend. The blend is mine." So over the past few years, it's taken some time because, as you know, as I just mentioned to you, I'm making cigars for a lot of different people.
All over the place. I mean,
I wasn't able to focus on that project to bring it back with different packaging and different bands until now. And those of the people that have followed me have known that it was always in the works. It was a question of when I could get it out. Well, it's here.
So are you unveiling it this weekend?
We are. We actually couldn't get the product here in time to the show.
Okay.
But we have visuals of it. It's already done.
Oh, wow.
Bands are done. All of it's done, and I'm going to unveil the name for the first time.
Now because here we go.
IPCPR.
Here we go.
Here you go, guys. And all of you that know me have been waiting for this day for years.
That's fantastic. We're going to get the first look.
Here it is.
First clue.
It's called Above and Beyond Cigars. Above and Beyond Cigars.
Wow.
It's going to be a 4-part series. The first in the series is called Heroes, to pay homage not only to those guys that were at D-Day, but also all heroes. And for those of you that understand the definition of the word, for guys like me, heroes are the ones that didn't make it. Heroes are the ones that gave it all and sacrificed it all and paid the ultimate price. So the cigar Heroes is to honor not only military, but police, fire, all 3 civil servants. And the first one is going to be called Heroes with 4 sizes. We're doing something with the packaging that's never been done before.
Oh, okay.
We have a secondary band on it.
Okay.
That, we'll put some shots up on it because I don't have one to hold up in front of you. But
okay.
We can put some photos up on there. It's got a secondary band on the tip. All of them are torpedo. They're 4 sizes. All of them are box pressed. The primary band says Above and Beyond. It's black and it's got some the name Blanco on it, and I'll show you the photos. But we have a conical cap on all of these cigars, and it represents and it illustrates the folding of the American flag, because all of the heroes that didn't come back in their funerals are presented, their families are presented a flag.
Yeah.
A folded flag in the shape of a triangle, which is why we decided to make all of these torpedoes, so we could place the triangle-shaped cone representing the flag on that cigar. So the 4 sizes are going to be called Willing, Unwilling, Epic, and Classic. And actually, he's handing me some photos of it right now.
Oh, actually, if you could put them up in front of the camera there, it's way easier to...
Let me see if they can see it here.
There, you can see what they're seeing now. Oh, man.
The bands are getting a little washed out there, guys, but it's a flag. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, no, that's good.
But that's it right there, guys. 4 sizes. We got the Robusto, the Toro, the Torpedo. And when I say Robusto Toro, we're saying they're all 54 ring gauge, 5x54, 6x54, 7x54, which would be a double Corona length, and then a 6x60. So,
wow.
There you go, guys.
That's it.
One more time, because I know people have been waiting for this.
That's it. We're seeing it.
First
live,
people.
First time.
That's it.
Wow.
I'm sorry? Yeah, and for our factory, I had to make special molds for the 6x60 because we don't make 6x60 in the entire Placencia factory in a torpedo shape. And it's box pressed. All of our box pressed.
Box pressed 62 torpedo.
60, yeah, 6x60.
60.
It's and we made the reason we made them box pressed is it's almost an homage to something like a coffin, because heroes have to be buried. So we want to. That's the only one in the 4 that will be box pressed. The other ones will, one will be for the police, one will be for fire, and one will be for military. This one's for everybody. So,
what's it like to
enjoy? And by the way, it is the American Legion blend. So, guys, it's back.
Wow. So, how did this project, with all of that kind of special meaning, how does that project kind of feel different, look different than other cigar projects you've done in the past?
For me, it's not about me because on this cigar, it was everybody wanted it to come back because they love the cigar, so we did it for them. B, the way we're doing it for others because we're going to be giving back a portion of the proceeds to some different organizations that we're not going to name right now because I got to cement some different things.
Sure.
But we are going to be giving proceeds back, like I did with the American Legion. So
Wow.
it's something that's near and dear to my heart. I've done it in the past, and I wanted to do it again. And this was the right time to be able to do it. And 75th anniversary this year with everything that's going on with the military. It felt right that we wanted to get it out in time for the D-Day anniversary and everything else that follows.
Wow. Well, you guys saw it here first. David Blanco coming out with a brand new line for IPCPR 2019. I don't know where to go from here. I'm just kind of blown away at what this guy literally has done over the last just 2 weeks, right? I mean, it's just been 2 weeks. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, and I love when I can. I don't have any military experience. I don't have any family in that way. I didn't choose that for me. But
you love your country.
But yes,
then you're a patriot.
But my
patriot.
My point is about that is that when I see someone's passion for the kind of service that people do, it inspires me to know how I want to help. What cigar I want to smoke. I mean, I said the same thing to the Warfighter guys. I'm like, man, I don't have any of those things in me, but man, I'm going to smoke your cigars because I want to support you and what you do and all the people like you, you know? And so I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that.
That's one of the reasons I make their cigars.
Yeah.
Is because my affiliation to the military, those guys being, actually they were both 101st Airborne vets.
Yeah.
So I had a tie with those guys because of our similarity. We chewed some of the same ground. The reason I'm with Hiram Solomon is similar because I'm also a Mason. My father's a Mason. I have 5 generations of my family in Masons.
Oh my gosh!
So we have a similarity and we have a relationship that goes beyond just the fact that I make cigars. It's because of who we are together to each other.
That's phenomenal.
It's definitely more of a relationship based. The reason we do business is because we're relationship based.
That's amazing.
We're friends beyond just making cigars.
That's great. Well, I'm going to tell you what. I have found another new mild Connecticut that I love. It's flavorful. If you get a chance to find this Blanco cigar, please check it out. It's so good with the coffee. Like, man.
You got good taste, just like my father, apparently.
Apparently. I love it.
That's the reason we made it. It was like, my father loves it, I'm making it for him.
That's amazing. Well, I thank you so much. This has been a great interview. Guys, please go on David's page. Check him out. David Blanco, public figure. Go on Facebook and watch the video. I got a chance to get a little glimpse of it. I didn't want to see everything because I wanted to experience what he was talking about. But I'm going to tell you what, just the little bit I saw just gives me goosebumps. And it's really meaningful. So check out his page, check out the video, and make sure you check out Blanco Cigars at your local brick and mortar, anywhere you can. Yep. Thanks again, David. No I appreciate it.
BlancoCigars.com. You can find us over there. And as I love to tell everybody out there, Instagram, David Blanco 007.
Perfect.
Imagine that. So I appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, my man.
Thanks so much. Stay smoky out there, guys, and we'll see you on the road when I get a new shop near you.
Thank you, guys. Come on down. Perfect.
Thanks,
thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
My pleasure.